Watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Jesse James Days fires off in Pineville. Our very own Lonnie Walton shares the history behind the name.
Also, a Missouri Supreme Court ruling that could change access to abortion in the state.
And we've got showers, we've got possible chances for thunderstorms. We'll break down the details in that forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 a.m. now on this Thursday, May the 29th, and the month of May almost over. This is the last full week of, and then we have the unofficial start to June. No, that's the official start to June.
Yeah, it'll be the official.
It will
Maybe
be.
Right now it could be.
Oh my gosh, the unofficial start to summer.
Yes, there
you guys
we
know
go.
what I mean. Yeah, it's coming up, and of course, as we get into the warmer months, a lot of festivals, a lot of cool things starting to take place.
One's happening right now in Pineville, Missouri, as the annual Jesse James Days celebration is officially underway. The event recognizes a movie about the outlaw.
Now, a portion of that movie was filmed in Pineville back in 1938. And as KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, the Hometown Festival also raises vital support for the local fire department.
Yeah, I came here a couple times whenever I was a kid.
Justin Smith is a local who grew up in the Pineville area and attended this event. Now, he's using this event to jumpstart his own baking business.
Try to find alternatives for cinnamon rolls, like we got Oreo cinnamon rolls and blueberry cinnamon rolls.
Here's another.
I am the manager of the McDonald County Recycling Center, and we're just promoting our recycling center, letting the community know that we are out there.
We also met a local who says he has ties to the Jesse James films.
Grandpa was one of the extras. He wrote as Tyrone Powers in the movie. He done a lot of the acting in it.
Mariah Brown is the spokesperson for this event. She says Jesse James Days is huge for this town.
Actually are the town that the movie Jesse James was filmed in, so that's why we do this every year.
Brown says the money from this event will be well spent.
The proceeds go to the fire department, so that way we can buy them new nozzles, new uniforms,
and there's just so much to do.
And a pageant, which is tonight, and then we run bingo, which is tomorrow night through Saturday, and then we have a parade on Saturday as well.
Smith says this event was a lot more fun back in the day, but now,
being a first-time vendor here, it was kind of stressful the day before and the morning of.
Together for Jesse James Days, almost iconic that an outlaw of the past is doing a world of good for a small community today. Reporting in Pineville, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Well, Jesse James Days runs through Saturday, ending with the parade at 5 p.m., followed by a barbecue chicken dinner.
Certainly a lot of fun. Yes. And again, that's just one of so many festivals and events that'll be taking place here in the summer. So there's always something to do in the 4 states for sure. Today, though, not much to do, and I really wouldn't spend much time outside, and that's why. It's cloudy, it's rainy, it's dreary. It has been that way for quite some time now, but it will eventually begin to change over the next 24 hours or so, maybe even less time than that. Of course, that's a live look downtown Pittsburgh. Joplin, MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line. It's the kind of the same situation. It's cloudy, it's rainy, and that's just what we've got. Skywatch Storm Tracker. Now, I know it looks like this is it, like this is going to be coming to an end soon, and that's going to do it for today. It's not. Redevelopment is expected off to our west that will eventually fill in and bring us more scattered shower and thunderstorm chances out there. Right now, the bulk of the rain, we've got heavier showers now into eastern Newton and Jasper County. We've got some moderate showers from Crawford, Bourbon, Vernon, parts of Bates County, stretching over toward Osceola and down to those points south. All thanks to a low pressure system that is going to continue to track to the east. So our best chances for a little more widespread shower and thunderstorm activities between now and about 1. And then between about, say, 2 and 5, we could get an isolated strong storm or two in our southeastern counties with small hail, possibly some gusty winds. So nothing significant, but we will, of course, certainly keep an eye on it for you. Here's what the future track looks like by noon. Here's that low pressure right about here. And as it continues to roll to the east, our shower and thunderstorm chances will become considerably more scattered, and they'll begin winding down. Now, by 8, I think the bulk of the rain is gone, but future track is hinting at maybe maybe an isolated shower or storm that might try and get going around 9-10 o'clock tonight. That's a big if, but otherwise we'll start to clear out as we head into our Friday. 59 right now in Joplin, 59 also in Pittsburgh. And here's a look at our temperatures. We've got upper 50s and some low 60s, so a pretty good mix out there for our temperatures. The thing is, those temperatures don't move much. I mean, hovering in the low 60s, upper 50s through most of the morning. Eventually, low 60s by 9 and continuing through noon, mid 60s for our highs. Our thunderstorm chances dwindling as we roll through the afternoon and evening. Slowly but surely, we'll have that north breeze at 5 to 10. Our weekend looks fantastic. However, next week, we are tracking more shower and thunderstorm chances, and some of those could be strong to severe. Details on all of that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a rollover crash alerted multiple first responders around 6 yesterday evening. Sarcoxie Rural Fire and Newton County deputies were called to Highway W near Elder Road for a truck that had experienced a rollover after a tire blowout. The white pickup had overturned multiple times and is considered a loss. According to Missouri troopers on scene, the pickup was traveling at highway speeds when the right front tire blew out, causing the truck to veer off to the right and overturn through a fence and into a field. No one in the pickup suffered injuries. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. A decision this week from the Missouri Supreme Court adds more confusion regarding the current state of abortion access. KOAM's Samantha Walker breaks down what this decision means for Missouri residents.
In November, Missouri voters passed Amendment 3, which removed the state abortion ban that took place following the overturn of Roe v. Wade. But now the Supreme Court has ruled that a district judge applied the wrong standard in their ruling that allowed abortions to resume in Missouri. Regulations that had been placed on hold were ones setting cleanliness standards for abortion facilities and a requirement to be licensed by the state. The district judge had ruled the licensing requirements were discriminatory, allowing Planned Parenthood to resume abortion services. This week, the Missouri Supreme Court overturned that ruling, and as a result, Planned Parenthood has stopped performing abortions in the state. In a statement, the organization says, quote, "Our patients remain our North Star, and we will continue to fight for their freedom to the constitutionally protected health care they voted for." On the other hand, State Attorney General Andrew Bailey applauded the Supreme Court decision. He said it's, quote, "a win for women and children and sends a clear message. Abortion providers must comply with state law regarding basic safety and sanitation requirements." We tried to talk with local voters here in Southwest Missouri about their opinions on the state of abortion in Missouri, but they said they didn't want to go on camera because many of them say they're left confused with all the lawsuits and court decisions surrounding the topic. In a statement, the executive director of Abortion Action Missouri says, quote, "What's really clear here is the confusion this will cause among patients was the whole point. However, our coalition has dealt with setbacks like this before, and we know how to support people accessing care despite a hostile political environment." According to Mo Protects, a pro-life political action committee, the Supreme Court decision is, quote, "a huge step forward in protecting the unborn and affirming Missouri's commitment to defending the most vulnerable." For now, Planned Parenthood is telling Missouri patients at this time that they can still access abortions in nearby states, including Kansas and Illinois. Reporting in Missouri, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now, this legislative session, Missouri lawmakers approved another ballot measure that could reinstate an abortion ban. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Emily Frankowski from Connect to Culture joins us to share a few upcoming June events. Well, Emily Frankowski from Connect to Culture joins us this morning to share a few upcoming events for the month of June. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning.
Happy to have you. Hard to believe it's almost June already.
I know.
But some exciting things happening with Connect to Culture.
Yeah, especially with all this rain. I think we're just getting it all out of the way so we can have some nice sunshine for the summertime.
That'd be nice.
And especially, we're gearing up at Connect to Culture for some summer shows outside on the Leggett and Platte Green at the Cornell Complex. So the first thing I wanted to let everybody know about is our Liberty Celebration that's made possible by Liberty Utilities. And this is kind of an annual thing that we do each year. The Saturday before the 4th of July holiday, we gather people together to just celebrate independence. And this year we're going to have 3 wonderful local bluegrass bands. We've got Southern Tradition, we've got the Vote Sisters, as well as Route 3, which are just amazing bluegrass bands. And so we want families to come together. We'll have food trucks, we'll have lawn games, and we'll even have a fireworks show at the very end. And so it's going to be a fun night. It's about $10 depending. You can just come and sit on the green. You can rent a chair. There's different price options, and all service members get a complimentary chair rental.
How about that? Now, does this event typically sell out quickly, or are there going to be tickets available at the door?
There will be both. There's pre-sales as well as walk-up sales. So come on down.
Absolutely. That's for June.
That's June 28th.
Wonderful.
And then we've got our Jomo Jammin' Music Festival returning, which is a lot of fun as well. That's in July 19th. And this year, it's going to be 6 different local bands. And what's really cool about Jomo Jammin' is that we crowdsource the acts. And so our patrons and visitors have been able to vote on which bands they want to see. And so they kind of selected them. So we'll have like Dawson Hollow, Blister Soul. We've got Sunset Circle, Dance Monkey Dance, Here Now, Project 6. So a lot of different bands. And it's wonderful because Freeman Health System is our sponsor for this event, and because of their sponsorship, the festival is free and open to the public this year.
That's incredible.
You still, if you need to have a chair, you could rent it for $5, but you can come and sit on the ground, which I like to do as well because we have beautiful lush grass for free, and enjoy the music.
Wonderful.
Again, food trucks, things like that, fun. Just a lot of fun outside, and we're just hoping that, like I said, all the rain has gotten out of its system. But it's a lot of fun to be able to activate that space right in the heart of downtown Joplin. There's nothing like it. And then beyond that, just with summer camps and classes are going on. Use connectedculture.org as a tool to be able to figure out what kind of summer camps and classes are out there, because there's a lot, and parents, it can be overwhelming now with all the kiddos back, and you want to keep them occupied and just growing and learning. And so these, at Spiva Center for the Arts, Joplin Little Theater, the Creative Arts Academy over at Ozark Christian College. There are so many different ways for kids to keep creative this summer.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And then a really fun event coming up June 4th through the 7th. The Route 66 World Street Painting Festival is returning. Last year, you might have seen them painting these amazing 3D pieces of art outside of the Cornell complex. We still have them, and you can come interact, take pictures with them.
So cool.
But this year, there's 10 different artists. They're all international. They will be in Schifferdecker Park the 4th through the 7th of June. So you can go and watch and see how they create these pieces of art, and then come back later and interact with them, take pictures, put them online. And you can meet these international artists. I mean, they're from all over. There's some from Mexico, Japan. I'm sure there's Italy. I'm sure there's Spain. I was looking at their little list of flags on their posts, and I saw flags from all over the world. So it's really cool that it's going to be right there.
Very cool.
And yeah, there's a lot of fun this summer.
Absolutely.
So Connected Culture can help you figure out all of the arts and cultural events happening throughout the area so that you never have to miss out on all of the fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, this summer sounds like a blast. Emily, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Now, of course, you can find more information on their upcoming events on their website. That's connectedculture.org. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:18 now on this Thursday morning. We've got some showers. We got some rumbles of thunder here and there. Now, again, it looks as though it's ending, but it's actually really not. We have more storms expected to develop here before too much longer. All right, let's take a little radar tour. We can still have some showers lingering into parts of Bates County, so around Butler, Osceola, Stockton, Greenfield, Lamar, Nevada, Fort Scott. You've got a slightly heavier shower right now as well, and one just on the back door of Jasper, as you can see right here, still down toward Greenfield. Pittsburgh, you're in between some showers, but Girard, you've got some rain you're going to send Pittsburgh's way here before too much longer. Heavier rain, though, leading this line, getting ready to push into Monette and Mount Vernon. This does include parts of I-44. It's just exiting Sarcoxy. So do be aware, nothing significant, nothing severe, but that's still some very heavy rain impacting the interstate and could be impacting your commute this morning. As we head back to the west, we got a few stray showers here back down into Wilson County, south of Fredonia. Nothing too crazy at this point. And then we've got this guy. And the reason that this guy over here by Pawhuska is important is when we back up the radar loop, we're going to back it up, and you can see here we are going into 7 o'clock. We're talking not even 20 minutes ago. And we get this little shower. And again, severe weather, not really a major concern today, but you saw that storm start to flare up there. And same if you look to the west of Cedarvale. That's what I mean. We're not quite done with the showers and storms yet. There's just a brief pause in activity. And then we're going to start to get more development back out to the west here, and that will continue to roll off to the east with the low pressure system that's bringing us these shower and storm chances. Actually, I want to back up. This map, what we need to know is on this side. We do have a chance, and this is going to be about between 2 and 5 for an isolated strong storm in our southeastern counties, and we could have some small hail, perhaps some gusty winds. So we, of course, will keep an eye on that for you. It's not a significant risk, but nonetheless, there's that slight chance there, and we'll monitor the storms for you as we head through the afternoon. Best chances for widespread showers and thunderstorms will be between now and about, let's say, 1, 2 o'clock at the latest, as this low pressure again slides off to the east. Once it slides off to the east, we're going to be dealing with additional scattered showers and storms, but as you can see by this afternoon and evening, we start to see them on a much more scattered basis. I think the bulk of the rain wraps up by 8. Future Track's giving us a hint that there might be an isolated storm or two that tries to form around 10, but if it does, it's going to be very short-lived. We start with partly cloudy skies Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, just a few passing clouds here and there, and the weather looks phenomenal as we roll into this weekend. Doesn't look so phenomenal right now, though. You can see we got the clouds, we got some showers, scattered storms through the morning. Temperatures really just hovering in the low 60s. Eventually, we'll reach actual recordable highs of about the mid 60s. But not much movement on those temperatures. Scattered showers and storms, and again, they'll start to wrap up, at least most of them, by 8. We're mostly cloudy for a good portion of tonight, but late tonight, skies will gradually begin to clear, falling back in the low 50s. Now, next week, again on the Future Track, this far out, this is a broad area in which rain is possible. This is not a huge area of rain. That would be kind of crazy. But this is a broad area in which showers and storms are possible as we roll into next week. By Tuesday afternoon, you can see we've got showers, we got thunderstorm chances here in the 4 states, and at least at this point, some of those could be strong, potentially severe. We do have an area highlighted along and west of the 69 corridor for Tuesday, so we do want to keep a very close eye on that. Right now, again, looking at the data this far out, all hazards are possible. The greatest concern right now is going to be with large hail and damaging winds, but this is also still next Tuesday, so I mean, there's going to be a lot that changes, a lot that updates over the next several days, and of course, we will certainly keep you updated on that. Between here and there, though, again, the weekend looks great. Sunny skies back in the low to mid 80s, and then next Tuesday through at least Friday, we have those thunderstorm chances out there, and we want to monitor those storm chances very closely as we could start seeing some strong to severe storms again by next week. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, soon a portion of the sky around Pittsburgh will be filled with bright colors and shapes as the 3rd annual Kite Festival takes place this Saturday. We have Al Patel and Chris Wilson joining us this morning to share how the festival has grown over the past several years. Welcome to you both. Thanks so much for being with us, Al and Chris. So talk to me a little bit about this Kite Festival. It's the 3rd year. Very exciting.
Yeah, this is the 3rd year, and this year we have a co-host with Crawford County also. Yes. Yeah, and more people are going to come this year, and more vendors are coming this year. So we are expecting a huge kite festival this year, a big one.
Very exciting. Chris, talk to me about your involvement with the Kite Festival and why you all decided to join in.
Well, there's a couple of organizations like us, as well as the City of Pittsburgh, who've kind of helped Al with making sure that he had a good location that made sense, and then getting the word out about it. And that's really where we come in, is just helping to promote the event and making sure that folks know about it, because Al puts on such a great event out there.
Absolutely. Talk to me a little bit about that location. Where and when can folks come out?
It is by the names and number on the Centennial, opposite to the hospital, Mercy Hospital.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And this starts at 10 a.m. and goes to 4 p.m. May 31st, Saturday.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about some of the vendors, activities, things that go on with this festival and how it's grown over the years.
Yeah, like so many vendors are coming, like pizza guys are coming, taco trucks, and snow cone guys are coming. We are having some international kite flyers coming from Tulsa and all other places. So we will have a fun.
Absolutely.
I think that's the big thing is just the folks are going to see kites that they're not going to see here in Kansas and in the Midwest. You've got international flyers from all over the world who are coming in, and each year he's bringing in more and more of those. And so it's really cool to see those huge kites out there doing really cool things.
Absolutely. Now, is this event free to the public?
Yeah, it is free to the public, yeah. We just give away the kites and the thread to everybody. They can come and fly the kites. And if they don't know how to fly, we help them to make it go high in the sky and give it to them, yeah.
Wonderful. And if people want to find more information about this event, where can they do so?
What do you say?
More information about this event.
We are having like a new kites coming maybe tomorrow. It will land here. I ordered like 7,000 kites this year. Because we have on the Facebook page, we got like 1,000 people. They are interested this year.
Yes.
So we are expecting a good crowd, and I order more kites for this year.
Yeah, they started a Facebook page this year, so it's Southeast Kansas Kite Festival.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Al and Chris, for being with us this morning. Happy to have you. Lots of fun things happening in Pittsburgh this weekend. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Elise Snowy. The Baxter Springs Chamber of Commerce hosted a big event for small businesses. The Kansas Small Business Development Center invited small business owners out for a fast-paced workshop filled with practical tips and tools. Business advisors were on hand to provide strategies to improve operations, boost marketing, and help business owners avoid common pitfalls. Well, the Seneca Cayuga tribe broke ground on a big new business in Grove, Oklahoma. Flint Fire Mercantile will be a 6,400 square foot general store, produce market, fuel station, deli, and cafe. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
We still got showers rolling through the area. Live look downtown Pittsburgh, more rain pushing in. As you can see on the camera, and the sky is still dark and dreary out there. As we take a look at the MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line. Joplin, you're drying out at least for now, but more shower and thunderstorm activity is on the way. So here's that storm that we were talking about earlier by Pawhuska now, just outside of Washington County in the Osage Nation. We've got these little spotty showers here, there, and kind of everywhere that are going to continue to fill in and bring additional shower and thunderstorm development. We've got this heavier thunder shower that's rolling through parts of Lawrence County and stretching into Berry, so now getting into Monette, Mount Vernon, and it'll continue to push to the east towards Springfield. And then just some moderate showers across parts of Crawford, Barton, Vernon, and Bourbon County, stretching back to the east. And this will all continue to roll through with this low pressure. And see, these are the additional showers and storms here in the last few frames. They don't look like much yet, but they will evolve into more showers and storms as we head through the morning. And we do have, again, that low risk for possibly some small hail or gusty winds in our southeastern counties, as we could get a strong storm or two. The window for the strong storms down to our southeast here is going to be between roughly 1 and roughly really 2 and 5. It's a very isolated risk. It's not anything significant, but of course we'll keep an eye on it for you. Future tracks showing the low pressure system on the Missouri side by noon. Still more widespread showers and storms continuing through about, say, 1 o'clock, and then it'll become a bit more isolated to widely scattered as we push through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours before we eventually dry out and start to clear out. 59 in Joplin right now, 59 also in Pittsburgh, and there's that low pressure now just outside of Chautauqua County, getting closer to our immediate area. Upper 50s, low 60s is where we're at, and that's where we've been most of this morning, and really temperatures not moving much, eventually about the mid 60s for highs, and we'll have a north breeze around 5 to 10. Our weekend looks fantastic, and then we've got additional thunderstorm chances we've got to keep an eye on next week. Those details coming up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, the U.S. Senate is considering a bill that would cancel SNAP benefits for many Americans, a big concern for rural communities in the 4 states where food insecurity is a growing problem. Chris Bryant reports when you get into rural areas, the number of children with not enough to eat climbs to 1 in 4.
In Missouri, 41% of those with food insecurity fall below the SNAP threshold, which is at or below 130% of the federal poverty level. So a household of 4 would qualify if their gross income is less than $3,380 per month.
I mean, we're still seeing the same elevated hunger statistics we've seen over the past year.
The United States Bureau of Labor Statistics says for the month of April, the Consumer Price Index rose 2.4%, and the Food Index increased at the same rate.
And we're attributing that to increased grocery prices, housing prices, and childcare all combining together to make it really difficult for families facing hunger.
Empower Missouri says in the state there are roughly 100 food deserts in both rural and urban areas.
That grocery store just not having enough economic support to stay within that community. I mean, that's why certain programs like the SNAP program are so important, because as dollars are spent in those grocery stores, that incentivizes that grocery store to stay in a rural community.
Now with President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill before the Senate, the concern focuses on the reduction in SNAP benefits.
I mean, something like that would be a catastrophic stress. And I'd have to highlight is that the food bank could not replace that amount of meals that would be lost if something like the SNAP program were to change or go to a cost-sharing model. I mean, we simply do not have the resources to replace that.
SNAP benefits in Missouri helped 107,000 people get above the poverty line from 2015 to 2019, including 46,000 children. However, there are still some who choose not to participate.
Education around the program as well, because the biggest problem we see is so many people that are qualified for the program automatically take themselves out of the equation because they think I'm not qualified based on income, or that I'm taking care of a grandparent, or any number of reasons.
Another reason may be more personal.
Pride is a huge issue, and it's because we've really made it difficult for families to ask for help, because so many times we're immediately attacking them and thinking they're stealing from a system.
Browning says when one community or family is helped, the whole unit is lifted as well.
It's the best thing for everyone, because as soon as they are getting access to food, that allows everything to start happening that much more quickly, whether that's applying for a job, remaining productive, or just taking care of their family. And that helps out the entire community by being able to access food in a timely manner.
Under the proposed budget bill, it's estimated 150,000 people in Missouri are at risk of losing some amount of SNAP benefits, and 68,000 could lose all SNAP benefits. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Drone operators may soon be facing some new challenges as anti-drone systems become more and more popular. And Consumer Watch, Tesla sales in Europe plummeted by half last month. Data released by the European Automobile Manufacturers Association shows that sales in 32 European countries dropped by 49% in April compared to the same month in 2024. Now, at the same time, battery electric vehicle sales rose by around 28%. Tesla has faced boycotts and protests across Europe over CEO Elon Musk's involvement in politics with the current U.S. administration. President Donald Trump's trade war has also encouraged many Europeans to buy from non-American brands. And Macy's is joining the list of companies planning to raise prices. The department store chain is lowering expectations for the year. It's blaming global tariffs and moderating consumer spending. Now, Macy's says it doesn't intend to raise prices across the board, but will be making selective price increases. Macy's says it also will renegotiate agreements with vendors and will shift inventory sourcing. While federal officials cite improving conditions at New Jersey's largest airport, crews are still keeping the average number of hourly flight departures there lower than usual. Fox News' Sean Langell has all that and much more.
Renewed calls from the Trump administration to overhaul the country's air traffic control system are expected to cost tens of billions of dollars. But Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says they're critical to preventing similar technical problems that recently plagued New Jersey's Newark Liberty International Airport from happening across other runways nationwide.
I hope that the Congress is going to do their work, find the resources to help us start this project.
The plan would include the construction of 6 new air traffic control centers and massive upgrades to all the country's air traffic facilities over the next 3 to 4 years.
We need it now.
These cries come after 2 separate recent incidents at Newark, where air traffic controllers lost the radar on telecom used to guide planes in and out of the airport for several seconds. Both instances triggered extensive flight cancellations and delays there.
Any checklist complete?
And while it's never comforting to know connection can be lost, pilots say their flight training involves learning backup plans.
If we were to lose control or contact with the air traffic control facility, we've got multiple layers of people that control airspace around it. So we would immediately go to another frequency. We would talk air to air. We would rely on our onboard systems. This is an extremely rare occurrence, but it does happen.
But while they might be turbulent, experts say data indicates the skies are still welcoming.
We are in the absolute safest mode of transportation on the planet. And the United States air system's gotten a lot of attention recently, but it is undoubtedly the safest skies in the world.
Sean Langell, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News just after 7:44 now on this Thursday morning. Sorry about that Skywatch storm trackers. We've got some showers still continuing to roll through the area. So we're going to start where we've got this rain continuing. So just south of Butler, rolling through Osceola, Fort Scott. You're about to be out of it, but still on the 69 corridor, stretching back down toward Pittsburgh. Nevada, more showers rolling through your area as well as Lamar, Greenfield, Stockton. You got another batch just off to your west there. As we get a little closer, some things I want to point out. We're seeing some heavier rain develop now on the east side of Pittsburgh and southeast of Lamar. We've got this line that stretches from just south of Greenfield through Mount Vernon back toward Monette. Aurora, you're up next. Nothing severe, but some gusty winds with the Boeing shape of this. And okay, latest radar update there. Just took off some of that heavier rain, but still some gusty winds possible. And then north of Columbus, actually right over here at the station, we've got some additional little showers beginning to develop. And then, as we mentioned, that storm, little showers over by Pawhuska, now rolling closer to Bartlesville, continuing to see development there, as well as back to the north here around Fredonia, some additional development. That will continue to be the trend as we go through the morning with some scattered shower storms. This batch pushes through, and then we'll start to get that redevelopment gradually filling back in. And between now and about 1 o'clock is going to be our best window for widespread showers and thunderstorms. We do have still at this point a low risk for some small hail or perhaps some gusty winds in some of our southeastern counties. It's not something that is overly concerning at this point because the environment right now is just not really favorable for strong to severe thunderstorms, but there's at least that chance. So, of course, we'll keep an eye on that for you. By noon, here we go. Low pressure on the Missouri side. Again, this is still part of our better window for more showers and thunderstorms across more of the region. Between about 2 and 4, 2 and 5, that's when, if we're going to see a strong storm or two south of I-44, that's when that window is going to be. But again, it's still a very isolated risk. Once we get into the afternoon, though, and that low pressure tracks further east, you can see our thunderstorm and shower chances become considerably more scattered. Could get one more isolated shower storm late tonight, say around 10, 11 o'clock, but whatever we do see, if we see it at all, will be very short-lived. Skies will clear toward tomorrow morning, and as we roll through our Friday, just a few clouds, temperatures warming up a little closer to normal, and that warming trend will continue through the upcoming weekend. There's the clouds, and we've got, again, no rain right now in the Joplin area, but we got more on the way. Scattered storms through the morning, and temperatures just kind of hovering in the low 60s, eventually highs trying to approach the mid-60s with a north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Bulk of the rain should be done by 8. It will still be mostly cloudy for a good portion of tonight before skies begin to clear early tomorrow morning. Then we roll into next week. We want to watch next week very closely, especially starting by Tuesday. We start to see shower and thunderstorm chances. Now, again, on the future track, this isn't this huge area of rain, but this is a large area where showers and storms are going to be possible. And you can see that that does, of course, include us here in the 4 states. Does not stop us from still warming up, which is why we want to keep an eye out, because we are starting to see hints that we could get some strong to severe storms by next Tuesday at least. On the extended severe weather outlook, you can see along and west of 69, we do have an area highlighted. Now, lots going to change between now and then. This area is going to be refined and tweaked, but it is something we want to watch closely because at this time, all hazards are possible, but right now, what the data suggests is we're looking at greater threats for large hail and damaging wind gusts. So something, again, we want to watch, but we've got a great weekend to relax ahead of that, going back into low to mid 80s, so a little above normal. And then I said by Tuesday afternoon through next Friday, that's when we want to start watching those thunderstorm chances out there. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Whether they're used as a fun hobby or as a piece of work equipment, drones are capable of fulfilling many different tasks, but not everyone is using drones for good, and a number of security experts predict anti-drone systems will only surge in popularity.
Now this as more homes, facilities, and businesses look to defend themselves from bad actors using the aerial devices to commit crimes. Fox News' Gary Baumgarten takes a closer look.
Drones are providing a variety of services across multiple industries, from releasing pesticides to target mosquitoes to helping farmers observe their crops, to even conducting search missions across natural disaster sites and more.
Just hit take over, take over, take over, take over.
But as cheaper and easier to fly personal drones keep flooding the market, more everyday people have access to these unmanned aerial devices. It's causing the popularity of anti-drone systems to take off. As security experts warn, drones can be used for illegal surveillance and violence.
We got takeover capability, so I'm gonna do takeover, and what you're noticing now is our system is taking over.
Officials at security system supplier Defend Solutions are showcasing the company's Enforce Air system. The equipment lets the controller hack into a drone to take over its controls. The hacked drone then safely lands, avoiding dangerous explosions and allowing police to better study it.
Typically, the drones takeover takes anywhere from a couple of seconds to maybe half a minute.
This system can also bring down multiple threats.
If it's in automatic mode, it'll determine which drone to take over first. Even though one might be closer, the system will realize this type of drone is quicker to take over, and it'll do this one first, and it's sequential.
Anti-drone system advocates say these devices can help protect large public gatherings, airports, water treatment plants, and more. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
It's just kind of crazy with the drones.
I know.
You know, it's not something you think about, but there have
Right.
been a number of stories
They
where
certainly
folks
have.
are using those for improper purposes. So
Yes.
use your drone responsibly, all right? And you will want to be responsible with your umbrella because you're going to need it again today. Scattered showers, thunderstorms continuing out there, as you can see on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. But something I do want to point out, one, we do have some gusty winds with this line. It's now beginning to exit our area, pushing closer to Springfield. But we're seeing new development taking place and filling in rather quickly. And you can see the latest scan there, a little more heavier rain starting to try and build back into Nowata County. So here's the thing. We're not really anticipating kind of significant severe weather, but we will see more showers and thunderstorms begin to develop and fill in on the backside of this low pressure system. And okay, so this updated, and unfortunately, it has added an isolated tornado threat south of eastern Berry County. Hasn't really changed much for the hail and wind, but it's just a heads up. There's that very small chance we could get a strong or low-grade severe storm as we roll into the afternoon. Scattered showers and storms will continue. If we see any stronger storms out here, it's going to be between about 2 and 5, so we will certainly keep an eye on that for you. We'll start clearing out those as we head into the weekend. More storms next week. Details on that and the news you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The Missouri Supreme Court has added more confusion regarding the current state of abortion access. The court has ruled that a district judge applied the wrong standard in their ruling that allowed abortions to resume in Missouri. Tuesday, the Missouri Supreme Court overturned that ruling, requiring Planned Parenthood to stop performing abortions. At around 6 yesterday evening, Sarcoxy Rural Fire and Newton County deputies were called to Highway W near Elder Road to a truck that had experienced a rollover after a tire blowout. According to Missouri troopers, the pickup was traveling at highway speeds when the right front tire blew out, causing the truck to veer off to the right and overturn through a fence and into a field. No one in the pickup suffered injuries. Well, the Seneca Cayuga tribe yesterday broke ground on a big new business in Grove, Oklahoma. Flint Fire Mercantile will be a 6,400 square foot general store, produce market, fuel station, deli, and cafe. Completion is scheduled for November. The Flint Fire Mercantile should be open early 2026. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
As you head out the door, more scattered showers, thunderstorms as we roll through the afternoon. A strong storm or two possible in our southeastern counties. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Mid-60s, so still a bit on the cool side. Rain should wrap up by 8, mostly cloudy overnight. We'll fall back into the low 50s. We'll clear out and warm up heading into the weekend, 70s and 80s. And then we're keeping an eye on the possibility of those strong, potentially severe thunderstorms rolling in by next Tuesday. So a lot to keep an eye on next week, but a great weekend finally. Get out and enjoy.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We will be back today at noon with more news and weather.
Have a great rest of your morning.